Hey, let's see what led to Jace becoming the next Batman in the new series that came out this past week, I Am Batman, shall we? We open up to Jace talking about his training in a flashback, saying with all that hard work, he's still nobody. We see that Jace is in training in Kyoto, Japan, and he's talking to Ma, his instructor, who tells him that Katana could use an apprentice. Jace says Katana fights some pretty bad people, but he wants to fight the system, not villains. Jace wants to be a revolutionary like Vesey, but Vesey tells Jace that being a revolutionary means not just fighting your objective, but what are you fighting for? Fast forward now, and Jace is moving out of the Fox Manor to an apartment 10 minutes away from the hospital. Luke tells Jace if him moving out was because of him, but is cut off by their sisters, saying not everything's about you, Luke. Later in Alleytown, we see some police officers argue over what to do with a protest. Some want to de-escalate the situation by falling back, while others want to use force. At the commissioner's office, she's chewing out an officer for starting a riot when they had no authority to tell them to leave when they were legally allowed to be there. And to hope he types that out, that's the reason why he's being fired. The detective comes in and asks the commissioner her views on masks. She says that being anonymous is what allows some people to be who they really are or who they really want to be. It's like a thread where someone can be really deep with what they're trying to say or a troll, but she'd rather fight a dozen bad actors instead of someone who knows what they want to do. Lucius Fox tells Jace that he has nothing to prove to anyone by constantly being the last person to leave work and turn the lights off. Jace says he just wants to make up for lost time, and his dad tells him he's just proud of the man he's become. Hidayah makes a surprise visit because her mother's company wants to work with Foxtech to bring broadband to underdeveloped communities. Jace is just glad Hidayah is still herself, if that was supposed to be a compliment or something. Hidayah says that Vol says hi. Jace says if he'd known that she was going to be in town, but she cuts him off right there, saying that there's no apologies needed but no excuses either, as we all make choices and must live with them. But if he has a minute later, she doesn't leave till the end of the week. Jace wants to ask Vol why he didn't tell her about Hidayah, but Vol wants no part in this. Jace wants to know if Vol has cracked a batsuit yet because he wants to use the tech for his own purposes. And Vol wants to know what it is. It's so no one will ever be above the law again. Vol thinks Jace is just going through daddy issues again like always, but Jace says it's for the privileged to not think that they are protected with their wealth. Vol has pinpointed some radicalist IDs to Gotham Harbor, but to be careful as they got him outnumbered 6-1. At the shipyard, Jace sees two men, but they aren't any of the ones he's looking for. He decides to shut it down anyway. The first guy is good but not better than him. Jace tracks a cell phone to a room where the 6 targets are already dead. Back with the thugs, one asks the other to help him because of a broken leg, but he sets a bomb off instead. Jace decides to not leave the guy to die and jumps into the water. Jace feels the explosion felt like a punch from God, but he starts sinking as he still has a lot to learn. He interrogates the broken leg guy and finds out that this was just a diversion for what's gonna go down in Alleytown, but that's all he knows. Jace tells him to wait for the police because he will find him if he runs. Jace finds out that Arkadine gets some heavy hitters to go to the protest in Alleytown to spark an all-out war. Vol wonders Arkadine gets out of all this, and Jace says he'll ask him when he catches him. Now he'll bring a tank. The hired guns start shooting the police and the smoke grenades are dropped everywhere. We see Jace in the bat armor trying to find the targets. Jace starts taking out instigators, but the protesters think Batman is after them. Basic weapons are no match for the armor, making it all but easy. The police target the suit because they think Batman is attacking civilians. Jace starts shooting non-lethal rounds at armed assailants, and a protester begs Batman to not kill her. The police try shooting Jace, but it doesn't have any effect, and he tries to explain himself, but the magistrate bots show up to try and arrest Batman. Jace starts to fight, but is overwhelmed by magistrate bots. Vol activates chaos mode and Jace bails from the suit. Jace may have stopped a massacre, but Social believes Batman is worse for the community after his failure to capture those who wanted to start a riot. As the issue ends, Jace wants to be someone who lets go of the past and looks towards the future. So he starts by making some new design choices to the new Batsuit. My thoughts on the issue are that it was pretty good as we see how Jace creates the new Batsuit from Future State and we see that Jace really wants to atone for his mistake as a kid from that hit and run. But he needs to find a reason for change, an actual solution instead of part of the problem. That people need to believe that Batman will always be on the people's side, but Jace still has trouble letting go of the past and focusing on the here and now. Can't wait for the actual issue 1 though. That should do it for this review. Stay safe guys, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for having me. You picked a winner. Where's my room in top billing?
I should be like you, Mel.